Welcome to this webinar on remanufacturing. My name is Nina Boersma and I'm interviewing David Peck, remanufacturing expert from TU Delft. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about the markets for remanufacturing. So will the current client base be the biggest customer of remanufactured products?
So to put the question another way, I guess what you're saying is, will the people who buy the original equipment product be the same people that buy the remanufactured product?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Depends. And it depends on the business model, and it depends on the product, it depends on the location, where you're doing it, it depends on other factors in the market. So there's a lot of variables around this. It can be the same people. Often businesses will choose, and I think we'll talk about cannibalization in a second, but they'll choose to be careful that they don't try and sell their product, their remanufactured product, in the same markets in the same way as the original equipment product that they're selling. So they'll try and vary it, but it can all depend, and there can be a lot of reasons as to why the company might choose to say, let's find this, and because the key word in marketing is segment, so who's your customer segment that you're going for. I think one of the challenges can be is that people in organizations, the marketeers, marketing specialists, they understand very well with original equipment product how to segment a market, how to position the product in the market, the pricing strategy, the promotion strategy, all the classic marketing activity. Remanufactured product can come along into the business, and they're not very well geared up on how they're going to handle that. And that, it can be a disruptor. But there is a lot of good literature and there's a lot of good practice out there on how companies have this varied portfolio of original equipment product and remanufactured product, and it works just fine. They target carefully, they segment carefully in the normal way, in the normal business way, and ensure that they position their products exactly where they're going to get the best success. So is it going to be just the people that currently buy the product? Can be, not always, is the answer. Case by case.
And this cannibalization, this overlap in systems or in segments you just mentioned a little bit, is this really an issue? Is this something companies come across often and they might be a little bit reluctant of?
Let's just unpack this cannibalization idea. It's an awful term, isn't it? I mean, let's just ask ourselves, what does it actually mean? What it means is that I make original equipment product. I sell it onto the market, and these are my customers. So if I come along with a whole bunch of remanufactured product, and often the remanufactured product is cheaper, my customers will turn around and go, hey, I'm not going to buy your new thing anymore. I'm going to buy your as good as new remanufactured product. Now what you've done then is reduced your revenues. In other words, the amount of money you've got coming in the business because you're selling cheaper product. And then there's, again, different players in the business, the chief finance officer or the marketing officer, whoever, will turn around and go, whatever are we doing this for? We've killed our business. We've reduced the amount of income we've got coming in. This is a widespread fallacy, in my opinion. The evidence doesn't follow through. If a business does remanufacturing in a non-strategic, non-thought-through way, unforeseen and unexpected things will happen. But hey, that would be true of anything you do in the business. Any strategic decision, if you don't think it through and think what will happen if, and do scenarios and so on and so forth, and do careful modeling and testing and so forth, you're going to end up in a mess. So it's no different with remanufacturing. Cannibalization can often be avoided with a bunch of different strategies. So for instance, as I said before, you can think about, we're in this geographical region here. We have very poor impact in this geographical region over here. If we introduce reman product into that market, it would be highly successful. That could be a way, again, of expanding your business reach and getting your brand out there and getting new customers engaged. And some of those customers might ask for reman product, And some, as they develop the relationship with you, might ask for OEM product. It depends. So it can be a way of just expanding your business generally. It can be in the same geographical region, but a different segment. So we sell to this purchaser here, let's say, for instance, business to business, and then we know there are big opportunities coming up in, say, the public sector. And the public sector is different, and the two don't interfere with one another. So if we have remanufactured in that public sector, for instance, that will work just fine. So there are strategies to overcome this cannibalization thing, so it doesn't have to be a nightmare.
Cannibalization sounds like an internal competition thing. I've read about external competition as well. For example, independent operators who take over remanufacturing markets of OEMs. Is there companies could avoid this taking over of independent operators, taking over the market?
Yeah. There's a really easy way of doing that.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? You got a company sitting there and going, oh my goodness, this third-party remanufacturer is beginning to take our customers away. You know, that's external cannibalization, but with remanufactured product. And I'd sit and look at that company and go, there's a really easy way of fixing that, guys. Why don't you move into remanufacturing? Why are you sitting there and watching it happening? Because clearly customers out there want this. So instead of sitting there and thinking, what can we try and do? And can we reduce the price of our product lower and lower and lower until we're almost bankrupt? You sit there and go, this is clearly a massive business opportunity. Why are we not doing it? And while we're on the topic, I know, price, that's a key marketing thing, And again, I mentioned before, there's often a perception the price of a reman product should be lower. I ask questions about that. Well, hold on a minute, Dave. If it's as good as new, sorry, you said it's better than new. Why is it half the price or more? Why is it so cheap? Should it be so cheap? If the customer can't tell, the performance is maybe better. Why is it so cheap? So those are some questions. Another one I ask myself is, do we need to tell people that it's a remanufactured product or not? Now, we're getting into real controversial and possible legal territory here, but I'm asking the questions. We need to do this type of thing for environmental, societal reasons. There's all sorts of good reasons, business reasons why we need to be doing it. I think we need to push the boundaries a little bit and begin to ask questions. How do we do it? How do we regulate it? How do we control it? How do we make for the most business success? I think these questions can be answered. And I think it's an exciting space to be in, and certainly for business and certainly for marketeers. And
can you explain why remanufactured goods would be better than new goods?
Yeah. So at the moment, you'd get an original equipment manufactured new product, so-called new product. And embedded in that is a lot of energy, a lot of CO2, for instance, a lot of materials, some of which have become critical on the planet and so on and so forth. So you put them into the product. Now, if you're putting that through in a linear economy way and you're just making these things and then they're turning into waste, which we don't recover much of the waste, you're just feeding more and more and more in. Now, with a reman product, you're saving. So if the products are the same quality in box with warranty as new, the same, but one has much lower impact, it's better than the new. And this is a new way of looking at products. This is a 21st century way of looking at things. Starting to talk about the real cost of a product, the cost of the planet, as well as just the financial cost. And suddenly you start looking at these two products in different ways. Now, of course, we need a constant flow of new product for product to be coming back into remanufacturing, because they maybe don't last forever. You can't remanufacture forever, but you can remanufacture for a long while. So I think the two will go hand in hand. And I think it's a brilliant opportunity.
It sounds almost as if this is a very new concept to the world, as if there's not being, as if products or materials are not being reused on a big scale or remanufactured on a big scale yet.
Nothing new about this.
Do you have an example of where it already happens on a big scale?
Well, there's two things here. One, you said it sounds like a new thing. Well, it's not. I mean, it's the beginning of time. We've been taking old things and making them like new again. So that's standard. We've seen a lot of progress for decades has been made in the automotive sector. So when you type in remanufacturing on a computer, a search engine, and you sort of find answers, you'll see a lot of automotive. That's good, and there's been a lot of lessons learned and a lot of development, and they've been pioneers in this. Aerospace has been doing a lot for many years as well. It's very common there. That's fine. What we're getting excited about is all the other stuff out there. So other products which can be remanufactured, and they'll present new and different challenges and new and different opportunities. And that's the area that we're really interested as well.
Thank you, Dave, for these insights in markets for remanufacturing.